Hi guys, this is Nada from Tech Testers and welcome back to our channel. Today I'm going to review two brand new headsets from Logitech, the G935 and the G432. Now, as you have guessed, the G935 is a successor of the G933 and they're actually calling it their ultimate sounding headset. Quite curious, I've been using the G933 for a very long time and I want to know what the upgrade is. And the G432, not to be confused with the G433, which is a wireless headset, is actually a successor of the wired G430, a 6-year-old headset. So, let's take a look.
Let's start with the new G935, which might not look that new as it looks exactly like the G933. The only thing that has changed on it is that the pads are now fake leather instead of textile. Sticking to the G933 design means it carries on the same strengths as well as weaknesses. It is still extremely tough. For example, mine G933 fell more times than I can count or be proud of, and it's still going strong. But it's also bulky and heavy and definitely not for anyone sensitive to that. The pads are still very large, soft and very comfortable. It's flexible and very adjustable to all head sizes. It's a good fit as long as you don't mind the extra weight. On the side we find the on switch, volume wheels, mute button and a few extra buttons pre-programmed to swap between different light settings, sound modes and connections, but you can also program them to your liking. The side covers are removable and offer storage for the dongle on one side and the replaceable battery on the other. The headset also comes with a 3.5mm cable for mobile use or consoles, although you can use it wirelessly for consoles as well, and it comes with a USB cable for charging.
So where 935 shines the most is actually its sound. It has so much raw power in these drivers. It has also a lot more bass, especially than its straight competitors like the HyperX Cloud Flight or the SteelSeries Arctis 7. But it also does that with a lot of clarity, much more, especially in the mid and high tones than its predecessor, the G933. When you compare it to some of the popular headsets, like for example Corsair Void Pro or the Asus ROG Fusion, it just sounds better. Actually, I dare to say that out of all the headsets we've tested in the last few years, and that is a lot of headsets, for a headset that's under 200 euros, it definitely has the most impressive sound when it comes to gaming or media experience.
With the new software, you can adjust the sound to your own liking and you can play around with the RGB lighting, matching it with any other Logitech gear. However, you probably want to disable the RGB completely, as using the RGB feature reduces the already short battery life from about 12 hours to a mere 8. And that is only if you keep the volume to a reasonable level. Compared to the Cloud Flight, which I can easily forget to charge for a day or two, you'll end up charging this one at the end of each day, highlighting one of the main weaknesses of the G935. As for the microphone, well, it does its job and is completely fine for typical gaming. Although I do think that recording quality should be clearer and better at this price point, as both the Cloud Flight and the Arctis 7, its direct competitors, are simply better. Now for in-game communication it will be okay, but for any serious streaming or recording, please buy a proper microphone. Now after this, the G432 suddenly feels like a bit of a lightweight. It does feel like it can take a beating as well, as the plastic is tough and the headset itself is very flexible. It is also size adjustable, easily fitting both the head of a small child as well as the biggest of dudes, who will also appreciate the ear cups being large as well. The pads are also made out of fake leather and are extremely soft, making this headset quite comfortable too. The coverage is pretty good and it's medium clampy, closing nicely around your earlobe without giving you a headache. The G432 is a wired headset, but the cable is very thin and flexible, so you don't feel it at all while gaming, and I love that. You can just use the analog connection with or without the splitter, or for mobile devices and consoles, or you can use the virtual surround USB dongle. The volume wheel is on the headset, and the microphone mutes when you flip it up.
Sound-wise, the G432 is quite okay for its price. It has good bass, it has good stereo performance, and that is very important if you do some competitive multiplayer gaming. It doesn't pack quite a punch or the clarity as the G935, but in its own price class, it does really well. It reminds me a lot of the Cooler Master MH752, which is currently one of my favorite affordable headsets. And while this one adds a bit more bass, I think the Cooler Master wins on comfort. The main problem here is that in this price range there's just so many headsets to choose from, and there is always an upgrade just waiting around the corner. So HyperX Cloud Alpha, for example, It offers a good sound quality upgrade, especially if you listen to a lot of music for just a bit more money.
As for the microphone, well, it does a pretty good job at getting my voice across clearly. I actually think it sounds a bit nicer than the G935 even. Nothing too exciting, but at this price point it is definitely up there with its competitors. Both headsets come with a surround sound option, which is a bit tricky when it comes to gaming headsets as it can be very subjective. Some people like it and some think it's just a gimmick. I personally think you benefit more from it while watching a movie than in games, where stereo sound is just going to give you a clearer direction as you skip all the software tricks needed to create that surround sound feel from just two sides. It's also one of the reasons competitive gamers always opt for a stereo headset. I do think it's good to have an option and then decide for yourself if it's something you benefit from or not.
Okay, let's conclude. The G432 is a medium all the things headset. I think they were more about not making mistakes with this one than making something exceptional. So it has decent sound, it has a decent microphone, it's just a decent all-around headset that you can recommend to people, but it's just not a spectacular headset in any way. The problem with Logitech is that usually at launch the recommended retail price is a bit higher. So some other headsets might be a bit more tempting, but if you wait a few weeks and the prices go down and settle, this is definitely a headset to keep an eye out for because it's just not going to disappoint. But when it comes to the G935, now this is a monster of a headset. It has incredible sound, it has fantastic build quality, but it also packs monstrous weight. So it sounds a bit better than its direct competitors, especially if you like immersive gaming or if you like action-packed movies. And keep in mind, it's very heavy, so it might give you some neck pain, and the battery is a bit so you will have to charge it every day. But if you don't mind that, and you're looking for the best sounding gaming headset for under 200 euros, this is definitely it.
That being said, I do believe they missed out on the opportunity to really improve on the G933. The sound quality is slightly better, but everything else stays pretty much the same for a higher price. And I just feel like they could have done a bit more in the 3 years since the G933 came out. Like improve the microphone, the weight, or the battery life. Now, that doesn't make it any less good, but it will definitely make you think hard before deciding which one to go for.
Now, thank you so much for watching. This is it for today. Let me know in the comments what you think about this review. Don't forget to subscribe and see you in the next one. Bye!